Is it okay calling cell phones? Yes. Are people going to get mad? No. From my experience, and I do this every day, doing outbound cold calls, cold emails, like 1 out of 20, out of every 20 actual conversations that I have with a prospect, maybe 1 out of 20 will give a little pushback, and they might be like, "Hey, man, what the hell? Why you call my cell phone?" But then I'm just, what you can say to that is, I just say, well, yeah, I totally get that. We're seeing a trend. A lot of companies getting rid of desk phones, don't have them anymore, and we're seeing more people are picking up if it's their cell phone. And it's not like it was 4 years ago when cell phones are only being used for personal use. Now people put their cell phone number on their business card and their email signature, etc. So it's usually not too big of a deal. I say something like that, and then they're just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool," and then I'm right back into my normal call flow. So that's how you can get around that. But it's really like 1 out of 20 times somebody gets mad, and I'll gladly take those odds, knowing I'm going to get a much higher connect rate, which leads me to number two, higher connect rate. Yes, much higher connect rate. On average, we're seeing a 300% increase in connections making cold calls. So it is a much higher connect rate. My average is like 50% on outbound cold calls. People that I talk to, it's more like 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 30. So you're significantly improving your connection rate by calling cell phones instead of desk phones, which are going away. Number three, does it depend on who you're calling? Some people say, "Hey, Jeremy, well, you sell to salespeople, so obviously it's going to be higher connect rate." Well, not really, because most of the time when I make cold calls, it's not to quota carrying reps. It's actually to like director or manager sales operations, or director manager of sales development and business development, people who oversee teams or people who oversee tools. So those people don't carry a quota. And no matter who you're selling to, if they're maintenance managers or engineers or IT, HR, everybody has these little things with them in their pocket everywhere they go. Even if they go to the bathroom, they take it with them. So it doesn't really matter who you're calling. You're going to get a much higher connect rate, especially with how people travel between offices. It's a mobile workforce. They're not just sitting at a desk 8-9 hours a day like they used to. Number four, leaving voicemails. I recommend leaving voicemails if that's just what you normally would do for like a tier 1, tier 2 account. With that being said, if you're calling a cell phone, you might be more likely on the voicemail greeting, instead of getting the person's name and getting some validation that you have the right contact. It might just say, "You've reached 646-212," but might just have the person's phone number. In that case, I probably wouldn't waste the 20-30 seconds leaving the voicemail, because unless you're positive that it's that person, and you hear their voicemail greeting that, "This is Bob at XYZ company," then I'll leave the voicemail if it's like a tier 1, tier 2 account. Is texting a good idea? I've experimented with a little bit in prospecting. Haven't had much success. We'll see where things go in the future. But for now, I think texting is a good idea if it's further down in the sales process, once you've already had a meeting with the person. Number six, assume it's them. Yeah, this is definitely something that I recommend. You're more likely, if you're calling a cell phone, to get somebody, instead of them answering the phone and being like, "Bob here," and then you just talk and it's Bob. You're more likely, when you're calling a cell phone, to have them just say hello, and then in which case you're making a cold call. The normal reaction is to say, "Hi, this is Jeremy at XYZ company. Is this Bob?" Or just saying, "Is this Bob?" But then that's going to signal to them psychologically in their head that that's a cold call, and they're going to try to get you off the phone. They're going to know, there's no familiarity here. They don't even know who I am. So assume that it's that person. If they pick up and say hello, say, hey Bob," and then just go right into what you would normally say on a cold call. So those are my tips. Hope it helps. And if you'd like to try some of this stuff out, get some free credits for cell phone numbers, hit me up, Jeremy@leadiq.com. Let's talk.